So up next, in the second part of our top 10 coolest looking eagles of this Earth series, is our sixth place finisher and the one who is at the top of the bottom, half of every top 10 list. So who are we going to find here at one of these co-center spots of every top 10 list now? It's going to be the eagle with the coolest eagle hairdo of all time, and maybe even of all birds ever too, period, as well as perhaps also being the eagle or bird with the greatest amount of swag too out there. Yes, I've been talking about this long-crested eagle. Heck, this eagle has so much style and charisma and such an awesome hair to going for it that if you ask me if Elvis Presley was a bird, this super cool looking and charismatic bird would have to be it. This stylish little eagle would be the most appropriate one to represent the king of rock and roll in the avian world, because he would be the only one who is cool enough to do so, and to do it magnificently too. So if you didn't think any bird of this earth could rock an amazing hairdo and have an awesome amount cool to them too, this fetching little long-crested eagle has just proven you wrong. And that's how they were able to land at this number 6 spot of this unique list of this unique family of the avian world. Well, we just got done looking at our most interesting one yet, but there are 5 more to go on this unique list. So let's keep going and finally making our way on to this upper half of this fascinating journey. So now, who's going to be the first one to start us out with these upper half of their graduating class finishers then? Well, this first finisher, this top half of finishers, and the least of these greatest is going to be the awesomely looking Verreaux's eagle, also known as the black eagle, which is a bit easier to spell and say than that first name of theirs. But these Verreaux eagles are large and intimidatingly looking, and are actually the 6th largest species of eagles in the world that can grow to a massive weight of 15 pounds. Besides being very large and formidable for an avian animal, they're also very sleek and sharp-looking too, with a profile that's not too far off from those really sleek and aerodynamically looking Ferrari supercars. Their beak is also bold and strikingly looking, and when they spread those massive wings of theirs to fly, their plumage pattern is actually kind of an interesting one too, and particularly when seen from below. So when I first heard of them, I thought that they were just going to be a very plain and uninterestingly looking member of this eagle family, because that black eagle name, when I first read it, did not sound very exciting or interesting at all, mainly because of having digitally encountered this other all-black, or practically all-black plumage eagle, like this Verreaux's eagle, months ago, who was just super plain and ordinary looking, and who was actually called the solitary eagle when I was researching for my scariest birds of this Earth video series. So mentally, when I saw this black eagle's name amongst many of the other eagle names out there on other people's lists, I immediately and naturally assumed that this one was going to be just like that other one. But after looking into it much more, as well as just seeing a few snaps of this particular black eagle and finding out a lot more about them, well, here we are. They have not only made it onto this list of my top 10 coolest eagles of this world, but actually ended up in its upper half as well. So that should tell you all that you need to know about what I think of them now. But as awesome as Verreaux's eagle was, this next place finisher is even more awesome, and it is going to be the spectacularly spectacular white-bellied eagle. Gorgeously looking and with such an ultra-rare plumage of blue feathers for an eagle and just about any bird really, period. And then there's that gorgeous white feathered belly of theirs, from which they derive their name. And that belly with those blue outer feathers of theirs just makes for such a beautiful and winning combination. Not only that, or what's more, this wonderful and lovely colors combination of white and blue rarely ever happens in the wild, as well as those two colors being a match that, as they say, was made in heaven, and those two colors just being so fitting to be a couple or to be together, and all of that to simply just say that this is a truly special and gorgeously looking bird. So of course, that's how it's been able to land so high up on this list that's been totally dedicated to this fan-favorite family of birds that are these eagles. So next up is our top 3 finishers of this particular top 10 list. Who have you guessed or predicted to end up at this next place finish, the bronze award of this unique list? Is it going to be who you were hoping for it to be all along? Are these final 3 going to be just as who you thought that they were always going to be? Hit that pause button right now. I mean it. And write down your guesses and predictions for these top 3 finishers and make this journey even more exciting and interesting for yourself with it right now. Alrighty then. Got your 3 predictions all ready to go? Get ready for 1 or 2 shockers and surprises. I'm quite certain of that, because it's time to find out. So, who did end up as the least of these top 3 greatest of every top 10 list this time? Well, first, remember when I began this series by mentioning how there's a lion of the land, a lion of the sea, and a lion of the air? Yeah. But did you ever stop to realize how there seems to always be a tiger to every lion that's out there in this world as well? I guess like how there are alpha males and sigma males amongst the human circles of this world. It looks like that's true for so much of the animal kingdom as well. Well, this quote-unquote tiger, the heir of ours, is the golden eagle, who is about the same size as that most popular and most well-known eagle of this world, and also looking very similar to that particular king of the skies as well. And this famous golden bird, prey of the skies, is big, bold, and intimidating, just like how its tiger counterpart is on the land is too, and especially those Siberian tigers. And seeing the movie, The Rescuers Down Under as a kid only made me stand all the more in awe of this beautiful-looking and powerful golden tiger of the skies. So now, after having said all those praises about this magnificent golden marvel of the skies, the $64 million question is, why isn't it the silver medalist spot then? And especially since it's supposed to be the tiger to this list lion or its top spot, right? Well, as seemingly impossible as it was for anyone else in this eagle's family to usurp or to unseat that magnificent and fascinating golden ruler of the sky, when I did dive headlong into this eagle's world, and the more that I found out about it, I did discover, and it did become apparent to me that there was just 1 or 2 that are just a bit cooler and more awesome looking than this already really awesome golden eagle. Yep. Growing up, I didn't think it would be possible for anyone to dethrone that magnificent and highly popular golden raptor bird of the heavens. But I had also barely heard of our next place or second place finisher as a kid and had long forgotten about them, until I decided to really get into this eagle's world a lot more to put together this interesting list for this video series. So get ready, because I am about to unleash what's probably going to be a super eagle shocker and surprise to most of you. Why is it likely going to be a huge surprise to many who are watching this video right now? Because most of you have already probably heard of the golden eagle, but most of you have probably never even heard of this majorly underrated raptor stud. Well, who is it then? Who have I been hyping up and building up so much anticipation for? It's this extremely underrated and super awesome looking stellar sea eagle. And yeah, as alluded to, I'm actually very surprised that this studly looking guy is not, at the very least, as popular as that well-known golden bird, or be even more popular than them. Because I've never seen any movie or wall art or even any computer screen wallpapers that were made of a stellar sea eagle. But I have of the golden eagle, of course. Well, when it comes to popularity, people are often drawn to the biggest or greatest whatever, the biggest ship, the tallest man, the largest fish, etc., etc. So guess what, people? This lesser known and super underrated stellar sea eagle is actually the largest eagle in the world by weight. I'm pretty sure you didn't know that. Well, I can definitely say for sure that I didn't, until I ventured out much more further into this fascinating and interesting eagle's world. And it sure was quite the shocking and surprising find. But it looks like when it comes to these birds and their popularity within human circles, size is of lesser importance. And it seems things like beauty, grace, and speed are a lot more significant and more highly favored than any bird's overall girth or mass. And speaking of girth, check out that most iconic feature of the stellar sea eagle, that extra large and super cool oversized beak of theirs. They also appear to always have this slightly cocky or confident look to their faces that only makes them all the more unique and intriguing to me, as well as it making them look even more like a stud and giving them an even more rugged and tough guy appearance. But what about that plumage of theirs? Well, it might not be as awesome as a few other eagles out there, but it's actually pretty great too in its own right. So all in all, I just think that a lot more people should be aware of this super cool and extremely underrated bird's existence, as well as them being thoroughly deserving of this silver medalist spot of this top 10 list of these coolest looking eagles of this world. And now, we have finally arrived at another summit of another intriguing and fascinating mountain. And this time, and amongst this particular crowd, it is time to award this super cool and super unique King of the Skies crown to this particular list's first place finisher. And who is it going to be? I'm not even going to ask you all to take a guess, because 80% of you would probably get it right, and you may have already correctly predicted it. Because at this first place spot on this unique list is this most famous eagle of the world, the bald eagle. And this majestic-looking bird's fame is largely due to, it would appear, of them having been a national bird and national symbol of the United States for centuries now, as well as the United States having been an economic powerhouse amongst the many countries of this world for centuries now too, which has caused much of the world's trading of goods and services to involve and to pass through the United States' economy. And of course, with this bald eagle as America's national symbol, the rest of the world is going to be exposed to them on America's seals, government logos, coinage, postage stamps, building murals, and so on and so forth. So this famous bald eagle has long been regarded as the king of the skies and the eagle of all eagles by quite a few. And much like the king of the land, the lion, this bald eagle is also hard to beat when it comes to that ruling of its realm and territories of the skies, because it's got the size, the majesty, the beauty and weaponry, as well as those impressive abilities that it possesses within the avian world to dominate its sphere of influence. So what more needs to be said about these incredible lords of the heavens that are these majestic and splendid bald eagles? And those reasons and more are why they are sitting atop this coveted avian throne as the greatest ruler of these blue skies. So there you have it, ladies and gents. Those were the 10 coolest looking eagles in all this world that I have ever seen. How many on this list did you already know? Or how many were completely brand new to you? And did you have one or two of your personal favorites that didn't make this list, but, of course, would have definitely been on your top 10 faves of this particular fam? Let me know in that comments section down below, as well as the many others here who may have not known about them also. So thanks for joining me on another one, and until that next particular and unique list from yours truly, once again, peace.